Richie Rich calls for the bell. We're about to get underway with our next matchup here in Bracket B. It's the shooter Vordell Walker and the Sicilian shooter Tony Marmaluke. And apparently this one's going to get physical as Vordell Walker wants to fight, giving Marmaluke a pair of gloves to mix it up.
I'm not exactly hesitant to mix it up. Tony Marmaluke put those gloves on. He's ready to fight. Both of these men can go at it professional wrestling style, or if you want to get into a ground game on the mat, both of them are very skilled as well. Although I might give that edge in that department to him.
Marmaluke trying to grab the single leg. Vordell fights him off. Marmaluke looking to get in the mountain. Vordell blocking him in the guard. And Vordell is just trying to rain right hands down as Marmaluke has the legs wrapped around Vordell Walker. And finally, Walker able to get in the mount position, but reversed by Marmaluke. Marmaluke giving up a little bit of size to Walker, but not afraid to slug it out. These two very evenly matched here in the early going. Neither man able to get an advantage, and both men trying to go for that leg lock. Looking for a submission here. Both men cranking down, but Vordell with a little bit more power, able to cinch down just a bit harder than Marmaluke, and Marmaluke forced to break his grasp on the leg of Vordell Walker.
Trying to kick his way out of this predicament, kicking away at the side of the head of Vordell Walker, who our colleague Jimmy Bauer has termed the hottest prospect in professional wrestling today.
Vordell making a name for himself all over the Southeast, getting a couple of shots up in the Ring of Honor, and he is now just raining forearms across the face and side of the head of Tony Marmaluke, trying to just pummel Marmaluke here in the middle of the ring. Richie Rich trying to stop and get in between these two, and Vordell just sending lefts and rights to the face of Marmaluke.
Well, it's a good thing that they have those gloves on. A lot of these closed fists would put an end to this match very quickly.
Vordell now trying to go to a front face lock, looking to choke out Marmaluke. He drives a knee into the side of the face. Not exactly a typical cruiserweight style match that we're used to seeing here in the Peterson. These guys are slugging it out, and Vordell's trying to choke out Marmaluke, who's able to reverse it and get in the mount position and fire some right hands to the top of the head of Vordell Walker, and he's going for that cross arm breaker.
Vordell turns it around now, and he's firing back on Marmaluke. You gotta give him credit. Marmaluke was able to turn it around on Walker right there.
Marmaluke with a steel chin, able to withstand the early onslaught here. Again, Walker going for that cross arm breaker. Marmaluke clasps his hands together, trying to fight him off. If Vordell can wrench back right there and get the arm into that position, he can pop that capsule in the elbow.
Very close to the ropes. That could come into play right here as they jockey for position. Vordell coming down on the upper back of Marmaluke and trying to cover up.
Marmaluke trying to jockey for position. He's looking to try and gain position for a choke here on Vordell, who's able to sit out. You never want to give your man the back when they're in that position. And right there you see the kick. Tried to get Marmaluke in the face with Walker, but Tony able to turn his side and absorb most of that blow with his arm and his side there.
Both men back to their feet as Vordell gets the fans here in Brandon, Florida, behind him.
Vordell obviously very popular here. You see a ton of fans on the side of the ring with those VW hands as he comes out the little flip.
Going after the legs of Marmaluke right away. Marmaluke trying to hold on to the body of Walker. It's a very different style of match that we're seeing here between these two competitors here in the first round. I guess we should have expected it with two men with shooter in their nickname.
Right hand from Walker to the face, and another one. And Marmaluke is firing to the knee of Vordell Walker as he tries to gain a hold there. Again, Vordell Walker using his size and strength in this positioning battle, trying to force Marmaluke here into a brawl.
The referee needs to keep his eyes on the shoulders of these two competitors.
Marmaluke looking to get that heel hook there, trying to get that ankle lock submission. He's working his way around the back, trying to turn the knee of Vordell Walker against the grain and force a submission. Walker needs to try and make it to the ropes here.
He's reaching. Can he make it? Not quite within his grasp.
Richie Rich right there looking on, and finally Vordell Walker able to make it to the ropes. Marmaluke had that submission hold locked in. Look at the pain on the face of Vordell Walker.
Both been very worn down from this very unusual match.
Marmaluke up to his feet first and fires a kick to the midsection, make it a second. And a third from Marmaluke takes Walker off his feet. Marmaluke trained here in Tampa, Florida by the legendary Malenko brothers. Rest of his early part of his career here as CG Offie in the Tampa area before finding success in WCW and finally as an ECW tag team champ, and he catches Walker coming in and drives him face first to the bottom rope.
Marmaluke with the advantage. See if he can capitalize. Doesn't necessarily have to remain a ground game, as we know that Marmaluke can use those ropes to his advantage. That's what he's trying to do right here. Maybe looking for a tornado DDT.
Driving the elbow into the back, comes out of the corner. Walker holds on.
Right into a choke. But the power of Walker trying to fight his way out of it.
Vordell Walker thought he was helping himself out by fighting off the DDT, and he did right there with a belly to belly, just tossing Marmaluke into the turnbuckles to free himself from that choke. Once again, the power of Vordell Walker coming into play.
This gives Walker some time to shake off the effects, shake off the cobwebs, and try to work his way back to a standing position. Referee checking on both of their condition.
You got to give Tony Marmaluke credit. Just 2 nights from now, he's supposed to be in New York City wrestling on ECW's One Night Stand for a big fat pay-per-view payday, and he's putting it all on the line here at the Peterson Cup against a kid with nothing to lose in Vordell Walker, who's trying to just choke him out right here in Brandon.
Marmaluke, this could be it right here. Referee checking on the condition of Marmaluke.
Vordell Walker wrenching back across the throat. He's got that rear naked choke right there. For some reason he lets it go as Marmaluke goes to work on the legs from that position, and Vordell feels the pain and has to let go of the throat.
Perhaps holding it one more time.
Like I said, we're here for Jeff Peterson to honor his memory. One of his oldest friends in the business, Tony Marmaluke. They wrestled each other many times. Like I said, he has a pay-per-view date in just 2 days from now, and he is here in the memory of Jeff Peterson. That's how much a kid like Jeff meant to so many of the guys here tonight.
Marmaluke struggling to get back to his feet, trying to break free of Vordell Walker's clutch. He breaks the hold.
Got that cravat there, sort of. If he's trying to turn Walker against the grain there, Vordell able to reverse it. Gets the arm ring and fires a kick. Goes for that second rope moonsault, nobody home. Marmaluke ducks the clothesline. Walker with a reversal and a go behind. Marmaluke hangs on as Vordell tries to nip up and catches him right in the side of the face with an enziguri. If he can cover him here, that might be it. Hooks the leg.
No, not enough. He did get all that enziguri. It didn't quite connect with the back of the head. It sort of to the cheek. But you got to hand it to Marmaluke, staying in this matchup.
Marmaluke was very close to the ropes there. I thought he might have been able to break the hold by grabbing the ropes, but he still was able to kick out at 2. Walker now sets him up, sends himself to the ropes, and a running Yakuza to the face. That might be it. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, and 3.
That was able to finish him off. Vordell Walker moves on.
A hard-hitting matchup here in the first round, and Vordell advances.